Hello, everyone, and welcome to our onboarding webinar. We are so excited to have you here today. My name is Chloe Sigmund. I am a senior manager here at Houzz, and I help oversee our onboarding department. So we are absolutely so excited to go over with all things there are to know about Houzz Pro. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what's in store for us today. All right, so some reminders just to make the most out of this onboarding webinar is please do log in and follow along with us. We absolutely want to make sure that we can support you, so take lots of notes, and yes, this session will be recorded, but we do encourage you to ask questions. So you'll see an opportunity for either a Q&A feature or a chat box either at the bottom or side of your screen. But we are here to help, so don't be shy. Please ask your questions. We want to make sure that you get the most out of this session today. But we do have a lot in store for you. So you'll see down below, we're going to kick off with going over our account settings, our calendar and video meetings, premium marketing features in our website, the CRM, team members, QBO integration. We'll also, of course, discuss what to do when we start creating a project. How do we source different products through our product clipper, the proposals and time tracking. And then we'll wrap up with visual tools, our client dashboard, and the mobile app. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right in. So let me just switch screens for a moment and I will walk you through the first couple things that we have in store for you. All right. So here I am on Houzz Pro. So if your screen looks a little bit different than mine, you can go directly to pro.houzz.com. Or you can also just go directly to your Houzz profile page that you may know and love, and you might see a big blue Go to Houzz Pro button, and that will take you to a screen very similar to mine. So prior to this event, you actually should have received some information on updating your account settings. So I just wanted to point that out to you quickly on where to find it. I wanted to point out your Houzz in the upper right-hand corner. This is kind of like your North Star. If you get lost sometime today, you're going to go ahead and click on your Houzz. So this will kind of navigate you to this back-end view of Houzz Pro. But within Houzz Pro settings, we're going to spend some time in all these different tiles and setting up our account for success. So the first thing, if you haven't had an opportunity to do so, is either after this onboarding webinar or as you're following along with us, make sure to update this account information. This is kind of the basics to ensuring that you're set up for success with building your different documents and things that we are going to go over with you today. So again, just click on this account tile. It will prompt you on all the different information that you need to fill in. So what I wanted to spend some time with first and foremost is our calendar option that we have here at Houzz. So let me go ahead and click on that tile. And just as a reminder, this is under your Houzz and then Houzz Pro settings. And then I'm going to click on that calendar button right here. Cool. All right. So you'll see on my screen that if you have not yet connected your calendar, there will be a big blue button asking you to do so. So we integrate with 5 of the most popular business calendars. So whether it be Apple, Gmail, Microsoft, there's many of them that we connect with, but I do encourage you to actually connect your calendar. And the why behind this is that it's an easy and streamlined way for clients to be able to schedule meetings with you directly, kind of eliminate that back and forth of trying to nail down a time. This is the most simple way to do that. So once you connect your calendar, you'll actually see that the options down below will unlock. So you can start setting your kind of default durations and your default availability. So you have the option to have a meeting duration as short as like 30 minutes. You can go all the way up to 4 hours. So take the time to kind of set that up and of course put in your availability of when you're going to be free for these consultations, and of course select the days that you're available. We want to make sure that no one's booking a time on your calendar where you don't want to ideally speak with them. Once you connect and integrate your calendar, we're going to talk a little bit about how you can utilize this today. But the one thing that I do like about this is, of course, that homeowners potentially trying to book a time on your calendar will not see the details of your calendar whatsoever. They will only just see the availability. I actually see a question from Joe in our audience. So they're mentioning that they're kind of going through some changes. They may actually want to change their calendar at some point. That is perfectly fine. Once you connect your calendar, you're actually going to see an option to unlink it down at the bottom, and then you can just reconnect it. So easy, that's fine. You can change the calendar at any time. Once you do have this all set up, another thing that Houzz equips you with is this isn't just something we want you to utilize on Houzz. We really want to help your business overall. So we're giving you a personalized booking link that you can have either embedded on your website. You can have it on social media pages, any kind of electronic medium where you want to give people an easier way to connect with you and book an appointment. You can just kind of steal that link right there, and then they'll be able to see your availability. Wonderful. So further down below, after you connect your calendar, you're going to see the option for video meetings, which I'm super excited about. And I think it came at the most perfect time. Of course, right now we're living in a unique environment where people may not be comfortable with you coming into their homes. Or even if you do go into their home, maybe about 50% of your face is covered because of a mask. So it's a lot easier to build rapport, build a connection, get to know someone when they can see you. So take advantage of promoting video meetings. The other thing that I really like about this is it can save you some time of traveling out to meet with clients in person, especially if you have a longer commute to do so. You can kind of qualify the client over a video first and showcase the ways that you can use technology to make their project a lot easier and seamless. The other thing about video meetings is you absolutely do not need any extra software. So you and your clients, it's super easy. Once you get this connected, they can have the option to book a video meeting directly with you. You can promote if you would like this to be a paid consultation or complimentary. We have templates once you click to promote video meetings that are kind of the defaults, which you can edit and adjust. But if you do paid consultations, it explicitly asks you for, of course, inputting the dollar amount of that consultation and what is the best way for them to pay you, whether it be Venmo, PayPal, you're going to be sending them an invoice, whatever it should be. So again, wonderful way that you all have the option and access to just to really promote yourself and kind of stand out above and beyond your competition by leveraging all these different tools. Okay, so the next thing that I actually wanted to go over was I wanted to actually pop into a profile of one of our actual pros on Houzz. So Julie, she's wonderful. But as you can see, she's taken great advantage of building out her account here at Houzz. So many of you might be just getting started, haven't had the chance to upload your portfolio yet or kind of add more content. But all this is a capability and function of what you have on your profile. So showing your reviews, showing off your portfolio of work, your awards that you may achieve. This is all something available to each of you. But what I wanted to point out is some of you in our audience actually specifically have a package that gives you premium marketing features. So we're going to start with looking at standouts. So this is for our essential tiered program and higher. But standouts are an easy way to basically select, the top 3 things that someone should know about you and your business that are going to make you different than anyone else. So Julie, she is a Best of Houzz winner. She's been in business 15 years and she's locally owned. There's also, of course, many other options down beneath where maybe you do offer those online consultations now. You speak different languages, you're budget friendly, available weekends. There's so many different things that you can choose from, but it's just an easy, digestible way for homeowners to understand kind of the top 3 things that make you stand out. So go ahead and select those if you see that enabled on your profile. And then next, I want to point out the highlight video. So this is a feature I really love. And I like to kind of tell the why behind these different things that our engineering team invests the time and effort into creating. So of course, we see that her profile already is very engaging, a lot of beautiful content, wonderful things to know about her. But when I see a play button, I'm like, ooh, let me click on that. Over 70% of users want to engage in that type of media. So you can actually create a highlight video for yourself if there hasn't been one already created on your behalf or that you've already started. So it gives you an option to kind of start with some different templates. Pick something that kind of resonates the most with you to get built. So you can preview them, kind of watch them, or you can just select when to kind of get started and plug and play the information that you have loaded onto your Houzz profile already. So you'll see as this is getting built, it already started loading things in for me, which is wonderful. But maybe as an example, I don't really like this dark kitchen as the kind of like the main cover photo for my video. So I can go in and I can quickly just change the content of what I want to have appear there. So I really like this hillside kitchen project. So I'm going to go ahead and just, select one of those kind of white, clean kitchens. Everyone loves that photo. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that one in there. So easy to make edits. You can click frame by frame and actually make changes. So say for an example here, oh, I don't like how it kind of cuts that off. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the rest of this description. I'm going to just have it say my main headline of what I would want someone to know. The other thing on Houzz, you don't only have the ability to upload photos, you can also upload video. So I've seen some actually really cool highlight videos where they have like either client testimonials on camera, or they have drone footage, or a walkthrough of a home. This is just a great way to really ensure, like, not only are you telling the full picture of the value that you provide to a client, but you can showcase that in your highlight video as well. So this template in particular also included kind of some basic content, some video that we added in based off of this specific selected template, just to kind of evoke that emotion a little bit more. So we can go through here. We can, of course, again, change those images, update those to something we might like a little bit better. And again, this individual did have some reviews. So if I click into a slide that has a review, I can also make edits. So, you know, I love this one from Kim, so it's perfect. But say if I wanted to change that, I absolutely could. So her awards and accolades are showcased there. We can also, of course, change the music that's associated with the video. We have a pre-approved library, some kind of a slower tempo, some a little bit more upbeat, whatever speaks to you and your brand. So once that is done, you can quickly just hit publish and you're all set. So it will create your video in a couple minutes. So this one's still actively being made, but not only is this something that can appear on your Houzz profile page, you can also actually utilize this on your website or other mediums as well. So I actually wanted to take you now into looking at the website that we can provide through Houzz for our essential customers and up. Don't worry if this is something you don't currently have, the standouts, the highlight video, or the website I'm going to review. I'm going to share with you how you can upgrade if you do want to take advantage of those features. And if not, that's perfectly okay. But how I got here is, again, I'm just going into pro.houzz.com. On the left-hand navigation, I'm clicking on website. And there's all these different templates that I can kind of look at and play around with. So whether I have a great, beautiful website right now, but it's just really expensive and I want to save some money, this is included in Houzz. Or if it's just kind of difficult for me to keep it up to date. What's great is these templates can actually talk to the Houzz profile and ensure that we're keeping them live, up to date for you. So you don't have to think about all these different things among just managing your business. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick a template to kind of get started, show you some different things that you can utilize. So of course, this is our silk template. This gives me some ideas of what it can look like, just kind of the basics of how this works. You can click into different pages, see what it looks like, see all the different screens and say like, okay, yeah, this one would work for me. The other thing I wanted to point out though, is all of these are mobile friendly. So if you don't know if your website is mobile friendly, that's super important. I know if you're anything like myself, I browse around on my phone all the time. I'm rarely at a computer when I'm not at work. So it's very important that your website looks correct when someone is on the phone. You want to make sure your images aren't cut off. Your contact page appears clearly. It's not kind of hidden behind something that an individual can't see. So all of our websites here at Houzz, the different templates, they are mobile friendly and they are optimized to be also Google friendly. So like I said, this one works good for me. I like the way that that looks on a mobile device. So I just choose this theme in the upper right-hand corner. Ask me some simple questions like verifying my address, uploading my logo, picking my different colors, picking a font pairing. So all that is super, super easy. So once I get all that kind of plugged in, it will allow me to play with each specific section. So on this one in particular, say I want to edit these photos. So in this background here, say I want to pick a different image. I can upload that. I can also do this parallax effect, which I think is very cool. Kind of hovers over, looks a little bit different here. You can choose these plus signs throughout as you're kind of creating this. You can add different banners, contact pages, badges or awards. We just spent some time building a video, so you can actually add in that highlight video and have that kind of play right here on your page. Here's a business description, so I can change that. I can edit that as I so choose. I can also, of course, change like the font. I can change the coloring, the way that it's dispositioned on the right, left, or center. Lots of different things that you can use. So there's some simple things on here, like having your address down beneath is very important to make sure that it is something that is optimized for Google. Our designers behind these sites are very smart with keeping that up to date. So this is absolutely something all of you have, or Essential and Up have the advantage of doing this. So if you're interested, just let us know and we'll make sure that we can help you. Okay. So last couple things I wanted to share with you before I kick it off to my colleague, Lucas. You might have seen as I've kind of been navigating around Houzz Pro, this little need help button always follows me wherever I go. And that's intentional. We want to make sure that we can help you when you may need it. So there's some quick tutorials in here. If you need to kind of rewatch anything to get you reacclimated to our site, we're going to be curating and building these even more so. There's also a link to a help center. So again, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things today. But for example, one thing that we're going to be talking about is the clipper to source products. So say after today, you forget how to download it, you can search right there and it'll bring up all the relevant articles for you to get some help. And then lastly, there's this contact us button. So we absolutely want to be there to help and support each of you as you may have questions. Some of you may have phone support that you'll see right here. You'll also have the ability to submit a written ticket. So you can click submit a support request. Say, for example, you want to talk about your account, you want to talk about your plan and billing, maybe you want to upgrade, you can send us a note, we can help you. Otherwise, of course, if you have questions on proposals, invoices, anything, you can put that in here. The more information, the better, so we can get you that resolution as fast as possible. But that is how you can absolutely get in touch with our team. Okay. Separate from that, one other thing I wanted to point out is there's this what's new in Houzz Pro when you hover over your house. Even beyond today, there is so much more to learn, and we're constantly updating our site, constantly adding new features. So there'd be a little red button here if there was an alert, there was something Julie missed since the last time she logged in. So you can click that link and we'll provide you again with all those recent articles and tutorials on anything new that may have been missed that you don't know about, because we want to make sure that we're providing all that to you. So that is a good one-stop shop to kind of find all those recent updates. All right. So with all that being said, we're just kind of getting started. So I'm going to kick it over to Lucas to go even further into what do we do with managing these leads now that we're trying to, build our brand, attract the right clients, and they're now reaching out to us. How can Houzz Pro help us have a more streamlined system? So kicking it over to Lucas.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Lucas, and today I have the privilege of being able to discuss with you some really great features available to you as a design professional. Today, we're going to talk about our team members. We're going to jump into QuickBooks integration, and then we're also going to talk about our CRM, our client relationship management tool. So for the next 20 minutes, you and I are going to be connecting. We're going to be discussing all of those key features. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and we'll be answering those as they do pop up. So to get this thing rolling here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sharing my screen so that you can see exactly where we are. We're going to get started here. Feel free to follow along if you are not already. As mentioned earlier, please feel free to sign in. And where we are going to start today, we're going to pick up kind of where we left off. We're going to talk about that Go to Houzz Pro button. So if you are just logging in for the first time, you'll likely see this screen. What we'll do is we'll go to Houzz Pro, and that will bring up your Houzz Pro Welcome Center. So this is what you should see when you click into Go to Houzz Pro. The first thing that we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about those team members. So if you would like to be able to disperse your work, if you have multiple people working and they need access to this, we're going to show you exactly how you can set those people up on your account here. We're going to show you how you can grant them certain permissions and what you need to do to make that happen. So where we're going to go is we're going to navigate to your Houzz Pro settings. Houzz Pro settings lives under the button that says Your Houzz. So scrolling over Your Houzz in the top right corner, you're going to press Houzz Pro settings. Now my picture might be covering that here, so just follow along here. It's under Your Houzz and Houzz Pro settings. You click on that, and then you're going to be able to click on the Teams tile. So again, we're going to talk about team members and adding team members to your business here. So we're going to click into the Teams tile. That's going to bring in here where you're going to be able to manage all of the users. Now, adding a team member is very easy. And based on your tier of service, you're going to have certain number of seats that you're able to allocate. Our ultimate customers, you're going to have an unlimited number of seats. My admin account here is an unlimited account or an ultimate account, so I've got unlimited seats. But if you're part of a different tier of service, you may see a fixed number here. Right now, I've allocated 0 seats. So if I wanted to allocate a new team member, all I would do is I would press Add Team Member. I'd put in their name. So I'm just going to put in another email address that I have. I'll put in Lucas Purnell. The email obviously is required here. We'll put in Lucas Purnell plus GC. That's my general contractors company, my fake general contractors company. And then here, this is where I can denote a role. So team members will be that default one. But if you have a different role, maybe a designer, maybe you have a project manager, maybe you have, whatever that looks like for you, you'll be able to denote them with the proper title. They'll be able to jump in here. excuse me, they'll be able to jump in here and they'll be able to, have all the rights and privileges necessary for their role. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to denote my my general contractor alter identity here as a team member. And then I'm just going to take a look at the permissions that are available. So there's going to be, yes, I would like Lucas to have access to leads. I'd like Lucas to have access to client communication. So if Lucas would like to email back and forth with those clients, I think that's important. Yes, I'd like that team member Lucas to have all the access to the projects here, client communication, invoices, proposals, and purchase orders. And then, of course, those great visual tools. I'll have an an opportunity to showcase those visual tools to you in a little bit. But visual tools are one of my favorite things that we have here as part of our product offering. So we'll talk about that. But yes, I want Lucas to have access to those visual tools. Again, the benefit to you is that you'll be able to divvy up your work. You'll be able to assign those tasks to those various people, and you'll be able to have those team members all have access to your Houzz Pro account, so that they're not trying to log in individually or utilize one login. So I'm going to invite Lucas here. What you'll see is sometimes, you can see right here, if that team member is active in another person's team, you won't be able to add them. But if you did want to add that team member, what would happen is, Lucas's name would show up here, the email would show up here, the role, and then that status, whether they've accepted it or not. And then you'll also always have an opportunity here to either delete that team member or change their permissions. So I'm just gonna put in a different email address here for myself. We'll press invite. We'll invite that person here. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. Email, team member, and then you can see the status is pending. And then if I ever wanted to edit, resend that invite, or remove that person, I can do so right here. So I'll just press remove for the sake of showing you what that looks like. So again, just things we're learning here. One thing is, if that team member is part of another team already, they will not be able to access, obviously, your team. And then the second thing is if you ever wanted to delete that team member or resend that invite, you can do so by pressing those three dots. So in just brevity here, we just showed you how to add that team member and how to change those permissions and how to add that correct title for that team member. All right, moving along, we're going to talk about QuickBooks integration. So that's for our professionals in the United States. I just want to kind of talk through that really quickly. But we have our integrations hosted under this Accounts tab right here. So under Account, we'll just click on that. And the last option that we have here is going to be our integrations tab. It's going to be our QuickBooks Online. Now, in order to integrate your QuickBooks Online, it does need to be QuickBooks Online Plus. So that would just be something to bear in mind. And we also provided this. It's like a 25-minute video. It will showcase you exactly how to integrate it on your Houzz Pro settings, but also give you a brief training on how to utilize QuickBooks, and make sure that you're aware of that one-way sync from Houzz to QuickBooks. Now, I just want a little bit of housekeeping here. This is only available for QuickBooks Online, or QBO Plus, I should say. So if you have QuickBooks Desktop or any of those other QuickBooks Small Business, unfortunately, that's not able to integrate with Houzz at this time. But QuickBooks Online Plus, that is what you will be able to integrate. There are a few things to remember, so we give you a couple things to remember right here. Four little pointers, and then you can always link this right here. Connect with your QuickBooks. You can always link an accountant or a bookkeeper to this page as well, so they can get all the information that they need if you're using an external accountant to manage your books and manage your taxes. Tax season always seems to be around the corner, no matter what time of year it is. So this is always a really great way to be sure that all of your financials are showcased in one easy spot. But that is QuickBooks integration for us. Again, you've got this great way for you to be able to manage all of your financial documents and do that one-way sync from Houzz to QuickBooks, so that you're ready for tax season. For tax season. Anytime tax season is coming around the corner. All right. So now that we've talked about team members and QuickBooks, we're really going to get into the kind of the nitty gritty of this, and we're going to talk about our CRM, our client relationship management tool. The CRM lives here under this leads section. So if you're a part of our ultimate tier of service, you will see you'll have that option to receive leads from Houzz. But if you are not part of that, or if you have your own other lead generation source, you're doing word of mouth advertising, you have other advertising elsewhere, you have that option to integrate that all through the Houzz portal here as well. So there are 3 ways that you can integrate, excuse me, your leads through Houzz. You can do so through this new Gmail extension for Houzz Pro. So all you do is you just click on that and you'll be able to download that Gmail extension. So if you're a Gmail customer, you can manage all of your communication through Gmail and it will update in Houzz Pro for you. You can import your leads through a CSV file via this import leads button right here. Or you can import leads via email. So that's another great place for you to import those leads. Via email, we have that email forwarding, and you can import all of those leads from your email address, from a CSV file, or from that Gmail extension. Now, another place that you can also integrate that another place that you can also upload leads is via this create new lead button. So if you got a great word of mouth lead, you don't have it in any of those necessary places, you just want to create a new lead, all you have to do is press that create new lead button. You can add more details here, and you'll be able to add that lead name, the client name, all of those other pieces. You then create that lead. So I'm just going to show you what some of those leads look like. I've created a lead here. I've created a lead here that kind of will showcase some of those things that we're going to be looking for. So in that lead setting, you will be able to do things like create that overview. You can create messages, notes, and files. And then there's also an option when you convert that to a project, you'll have that estimates tab here as well. In the overview, you'll be able to see all that client communication back and forth between you and that client. In the messages center, you can upload any of those messages. So anytime you are connecting with that client, connecting with them to discuss those messages, or communicating back and forth, you'll have that option to do so right here. In this notes section, you can input any of those notes, any of those calls, any of that communication that you have back and forth. And then right here, you can also integrate any files. So if you have, for instance, you're working with a high profile client, you upload a non-disclosure here, you have contracts, you have any reference material or inspiration material, you can put that all right here under this section right here. In this lead stage, you can also move those leads from for review to follow-up to meeting and estimate. And I'll even show you what that looks like at a kind of a more grand scheme here. You can see all of those, all the leads that I have in those various stages. So you can see right here, for review, follow-up, meeting, and estimate. We can even click into this one from Ross Geller to see what that looks like. It looks, just the same across every lead function. You can start that conversation with that person. And then on the right-hand side here, you can schedule those meetings. So if you wanted to schedule a meeting, now Chloe showed you how to integrate that calendar. I'll show you exactly what that looks like. I know that there was a question earlier. Hey, what does this look like when a client sees this? Are they going to see all the details on my calendar? The answer is no. So I can click here to schedule that meeting. And in clicking so, it will prompt the 30-minute meeting prompt, and I can see what my availability looks like, throughout the week here. So clicking in month by month to see, hey, this is what I have available on these specific days. This is when it would be great to connect based on those parameters that you set earlier in that client, in that calendar setting, I should say. So again, then you click on this and you can send that invite to that client so that you and that client can then meet face to face. Once you are all said and done here, once you've seen all those lead details, you've been able to connect with that person, you have all the notes, and you're ready to convert to a project, we're going to press convert to the project button. And I'm actually going to put a pause on this here because Jade is going to show you what this looks like when you are ready to convert this to a project and really talk to you about everything that's pertinent and related to those projects, everything from creating a project all the way through the product clipper. She's going to talk to you about the room boards and proposals today. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Jade.
All right. Thank you, Lucas, and thank you, Chloe. Hi, everyone. My name is Jade. I am a client onboarding specialist here at Houzz. And today I'm just going to dive right into our next section, which is going to start with creating a project. From there, we're going to walk through a basic project workflow in Houzz Pro, and that's creating a room board, using our product clipper, and then converting into those all important documents that we'll need to share with our clients. Wrapping it up there, we're also going to go through time and expenses and how to accurately bill for your time as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, wonderful. So you now should see my home screen. I'm going to go to the left-hand side of the screen and click on my projects tab. So, of course, from a lead, you do have the ability, as Lucas was reviewing, to convert that lead into a project. Now, say that you just want to start here and start from creating a project right off the bat. We can go to the upper right-hand corner of our projects tab and just select Create New Project. From here, we're going to be able to enter all of our pertinent details. We can enter our client information, project information. So again, you don't necessarily have to start with a lead, so you can manually enter the details for your project here for yourself. Okay, but for sake of example, what I'm going to go through today is, of course, a project that I've already been working with. I'm going to go ahead and click on Rachel Green over here at Ashland Court. Okay, great. So from here, this will give you sort of what I like to think of as my project dashboard. So at the top here, we have quick access to any documents that you'll need to use. You also have access to your messages here to your client. If I scroll down even further, you even have a task center for you to actually type out your tasks and then check them off once you've completed them. Down here, we also have a section for our upcoming events, aka our timeline. And then down here, you can also upload some files pertinent to the project. Now at the top here, we have a couple of other tabs as well. However, like I said, I'm going to be taking you guys through a basic project workflow. And I know all of this might be tempting to dive into right off the bat, but what's going to save you a lot of headache and a lot of time is by starting with a room board, and I'll explain why. So at the very top here, we're going to go through all of our tabs to the very end and select our More option. Now, if I click on More, the second option right here is going to be room boards. So it's a little bit hidden, but again, it'll live in More. You're just going to go ahead and select room boards to get started. Now, a room board, the best way I can explain it is sort of the older sibling to the mood board, and I'll explain why. So, of course, mood boards are great for visualization and getting those ideas down on paper, but the room board in Houzz Pro is going to be your ultimate sort of starting point for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's going to be a great space for you as the designer to sort of organize all of your ideas, similar to a mood board maybe. However, it's going to take it that step further because from the room board, you're then going to be able to create that into any document that you'll need to share with your client. So that could look like a proposal, a tear sheet, an invoice, a mood board, etc. So if you take anything away from my section, it's going to be that room boards will be your North Star. So as you can see here, I have 2 rooms already created. I'm going to go ahead and add a new room for myself just by clicking, again, that big blue button, Add New Room. Now, your cover image and basically everything else is pretty much optional, so all you really need is the room title to get started. So we'll go ahead and just let's do Jade's Kitchen. We'll set our budget, and I'll go ahead and click Save. It's as easy as that. Now, as you can see, I've divvied this project up into a couple different rooms already. If you just have a single room that you're working on, or just maybe you want to put everything in your project in one room, that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and click into my project now, or excuse me, my kitchen, and we'll start to add some items. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, I don't have anything in here. The most natural next step for me would be to start adding some products and services here. So again, same thing, that big blue button, we're going to click Add Items. Now you have 2 options. You have obviously attachments down here, which you'll be able to pull anything from your computer, basically from the attachment sections. If you have maybe a contract or a photo that isn't uploaded here in your products and services that you want to upload, you can totally do that here. However, we also have our products and services tab, which I can guess you're probably going to be using about 90% of the time, and I'll show you why. So our products and services tab, this will bring up my global product and service library. Now, you can think of this as sort of your inventory. You can also access this library here on the left-hand side of the screen if you see that products and services tab. But when you are starting to add items and services to your room boards, it'll come up as this little sidebar moment. Okay, I see, Alex, you were asking about seeing or viewing the product and service library on its own as well. Let's actually take a look at that really quickly. I think that would be helpful to view. So, like I said, the products and services little sidebar, this will just give you a basic overview of your inventory. But if you want to take a deeper look as to what that will look like, you can go over to products and services on the left-hand side of your screen. Perfect. And so here you can actually see a larger view of all of the products that you've saved here. And then you can also search keywords, vendors, categories, etc. All right, good question. So let's head back here. Again, just as a recap, I think this is helpful. We're in our project. We're starting. We're going to go to More on the right-hand side and go to our room boards. Perfect. We're going to go back to Jade's kitchen and we're going to go add items. Now, I know you all are probably asking, Jade, where the heck did you get all these products from? And I'm glad you asked. I have two ways to enter products into my Houzz Pro library. The first way would be probably the most obvious, which is add new product. Now, this will allow you to manually enter these product details, which we know can take quite a bit of time. So that's why we have an incredible tool that I think you all are going to love. It's called our product clipper. Now, I'm going to demonstrate it for you. And just as an overview, our product clipper allows you to quote unquote clip any image of any product on the internet. So yeah, you heard that right. You can clip any product from any vendor, does not have to be from Houzz. But for the example today, I will be using a product on the Houzz site. So as you can see here, I'm just in Houzz. And now the product clipper is a Google Chrome extension. So once you download it to Google Chrome, you will then be able to essentially clip, again, anything on the site or on any site, excuse me. Now, we'll be sure to share that link with you as well so you can download the clipper too. And if you don't have Google Chrome downloaded as well, let us know and we'll be sure to help you download that if you do need some further assistance. Okay, so here I'm just on Houzz. I'm looking for a media center. Let's go ahead. I think that this would be great for my client or just to save to my library. I'm going to go here. And so I have this item here. I'm just going to hover over the image. And now what you'll see is going to be a little ivy leaf in the upper right-hand corner, if you guys can see that. Once you download the clipper, there's no need to activate it. There's no need to do anything at all. This little clipper, this little ivy leaf will just sort of follow you around as you're sourcing your products. And it will allow you to save these items just on the fly on these websites. I'm going to go ahead and click this. And as you can see here, now this image automatically filtered over into this sidebar. And now I have the ability to start adding all of the details for this item here. So I can add cost, description. I can even scroll down and even go as far as dimensions or the SKU. So you do have a lot of flexibility here. Now, the benefit of this is you're going to be able to save this, like I said, to your inventory. And then when you're ready to share it with your clients, you can make adjustments as needed. So let's go ahead and start adding some details here. I want to go ahead and enter the cost. Now, like I mentioned, this sourcing tool, it's meant to save you time because we know that sourcing can be sort of a pain in the butt sometimes, lots of copying and pasting, but no more of that. So say that you want to start entering some details. Let's go ahead and start with our cost. I'm going to go ahead and go to this cost section. I will, for example, highlight it. And again, you can highlight any text on this page. And what will happen is it'll give you another drop-down list and you can pick where you want to filter it into. So I'll go ahead and filter in my cost section right here just by selecting cost. And boom, you can see it automatically filters over for me. All right, and again, you can do this for any text on the page. So I'm going to go ahead again, highlight, then go ahead and do client description. Now, someone has asked if you can add in different or additional photos here? You absolutely can. So number one, you can either upload your own image, which is a really great tool. So if you have maybe an actual photo of the item in a space of yours, you can go ahead and just click the little plus sign and click upload image. Or you can actually go to the other photos associated with the image on the site, and you can go ahead and clip them as well. You can do up to 5. Now, just as a pro tip here, I would suggest as you're saving these items to save them to as close to the original version as possible. Now, the reason I say that is just so it's easier for you down the line when you are going through your inventory to find it. So if you want to add in specific things in the description, if you want to categorize it here, maybe I can do media centers. I'm just typing this in, and now I'm going to create a media centers category for myself. And again, this is all for your eyes only in your internal library until you do decide to share it with your client. So again, down here, I can also add in tags. So if I want to type in TV stand or Soho or whatever that looks like, that'll make it easier for you. Please feel free to do so. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click Save to Ivy. And just as a heads up and as a sort of quick mention, you'll see Ivy sometimes pop up here and there. That is a design software that Houzz Pro has sort of partnered and acquired. So now basically anytime you see the word Ivy, you can just think of it as synonymous with Houzz Pro, just to sort of clear up any confusion that might be coming up there, because I saw a couple of questions. Okay, wonderful. So now I've saved that product and we're gonna head back to our room board. That's where we started. All right, so again, I'm gonna go into the upper right corner and select Add Items. We'll go Products and Services, and I'm gonna go to All Products. Now, it takes about a minute for it to filter in here, so I'm not gonna use that TV stand that I just saved. However, I will begin to start adding items that I've already added to my library for example's sake. So to add an item, all you have to do is either click or drag. So you can drag it. Beautiful. Or I can go ahead and just select and it'll pop up for me, no problem. And just as a tip here as well, whenever you do add an item here, I just want to be clear, it will essentially create a copy for you. So any edits that you make to these items here will not reflect in your product library and vice versa. If you make an edit in your product library, it will not change in any of your room boards. Okay, Kristen, I see that you're asking if we can add these items to different projects. Of course you can. So when you're saving it right off the bat, you guys probably saw that you can assign it to a project or assign it to a room board. You absolutely can. However, I would advise against that unless you are 10,000% certain that you're not going to be using it for any other projects down the line. So you can see here, all of these items I have not assigned to a project or a room board. If I did, it would automatically pop up here once I save it in the Clipper section that I just reviewed. However, if you do want to add this to any other projects down the line, no need to assign it once you're saving it. You can just do the same thing we're doing right now in any of your other room boards or projects. You have a lot of flexibility here. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and get ready to send this. So like I said, this is sort of just your foundation. So this is you organizing your items before you're sending it out. You can also, just as a pro tip, you can clip anything like paint colors or tiles or finishings, whatever that looks like for you. So I'm getting ready to send this. Now I'm going to go ahead and make some edits because I may be marking these up. I'm going to go ahead and click on this stool. And here you can see I have a ton of information. However, the only 3 things that you need to be sort of aware of before sending it out is that your client will be able to see the title, the description, and number 3 is our total selling price. So the client will not see the website, the vendor, just as long as that information is not included in your client title or description if you do decide to mark it up. So let's go ahead. I'm going to save this as maybe stool option 1, for example's sake. I'm going to scroll down here to accounting, and I'm going to add in my markup. So you can see it's already 35%. I'm going to change it to 20, and watch my total selling price right here on the right change really quickly. So now this total selling price will automatically calculate for me, takes out the legwork, and just makes it super, super easy for you to organize markups and accounting information per project. Okay, great. I see a couple questions coming in as well. So again, once you make these edits, they will not reflect in your product library. This is just specific for the room board you're working on. So from here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing this with my client. So say that I've made all these adjustments, I'm ready to go. I'm going to go here to the upper right corner, and I have a couple of options. Number 1 is going to be our send to client option. Now this will allow me to just share the room board as it is. This is a really great option if you just sort of want to get preliminary approval. And if I click send to client, basically what they'll see here is they'll see the room board name, and then they will also see each product. And of course, like I said, those 3 things: description, title, and total selling price. They'll be able to click on it, scroll through the photos, interact, and then they can also approve or decline. Okay, our next few options are going to all live in our more section. But the most important thing that I want to focus on today is how to convert this into a proposal, because that is normally the next step that we'll take here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this more option right next to send to client. Now you'll see we have quite a few options here, but just sort of keep our focus. What we're going to do is we're going to convert this to a document. Now, just as another pro tip, you will not see the word proposal or invoice on this list. However, you will see the word document, which translates to proposal or invoice. So just keep your eye out for that. Now, here you have the option to select proposal or invoice. I'll be doing proposal for the sake of example today. And now I'm going to click convert. So this I want you to think of as step number 1. Okay, now this is going to be your step number 2. You can see I've created the proposal, and now this is just where I can make all of my big edits, just making sure everything looks good. So you can approve all of your client details as well. Now this is all information you would have inputted when you created the project, just as a heads up. Down here as well, you can also continue to make edits here, adjust markup, description, photos, and then at the bottom, you can even add in tags or memos. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to save this, and I'm going to go to the upper right corner and select Save and Send. Now, I'm going to go ahead and send this for approval just because this is a proposal. So I don't want you all to be scared of that save and send button. It will not send right off the bat. I know, Riley, you just asked if we click save and send, if it will send. It will not. What's going to happen is it'll take you just to that final preview. It'll allow you to see that document. So like we reviewed earlier, you're going to be able to filter in your logo here once you update that to your account tile. You can also have your company details here. Again, proposal details, and then all of the specs for those products that we added here. It is as easy as that. Okay, wonderful. I am going to pause here and look at some of these questions coming in. Okay, so I see someone asking if we're going to be able to record payment here. Yes, you absolutely can. So number 1, if you want to send your proposal out or your invoice out for payment, you can do that as long as you set up your payment information, again, in your account settings. But say that you maybe receive a check, or maybe your client prefers to pay you via, check or cash. So right here on the right-hand side of the screen, you can go ahead and click Add New Payment right here at the very bottom. And you're going to be able to record a received payment. So say you maybe want to record a check or maybe a cash or a bank transfer. You can absolutely do that here. So we're going to go ahead and select maybe check. And I'm just going to record my deposit because I had already gotten that. So maybe we can do about $500. Wonderful. And so now you can see that that had been applied to my proposal. It'll reflect in my total balance. And now I can just go ahead and click send proposal. It'll give me one last time a preview so you can be sure that everything looks good. And then you will be good to go. Okay, so that again was the sort of basic project workflow from creating a project, creating a room board, using that Clipper tool, and then of course converting it into those all important documents. Now, I am going to quickly wrap it up and I'm going to go through our time and expenses section. I'm going to actually go back to our home screen here and show you how to accurately bill for your time. So similar to how we just created a proposal and all those documents for our products and services, you also have the ability to create invoices for your time. And we understand sometimes how difficult it can be to accurately bill for your time, which is where this tool comes in, and it'll just ensure that you're getting paid accordingly and also on time. So a couple of things here. I'm going to go to the left-hand side of the screen under time and expenses here. And this will bring me to my overall time and expenses section. As you can see here, I already have a couple of entries, so I'll show you how to manually enter this information as well. So upper right corner, same trend, we have that big blue button, new entry. Now, the beauty of this is you can divide up your time, so your time worked by projects, so nothing gets all mushed together. So say that you're going to account for the time you spent with Rachel Green. We're going to select our services time. I've already entered my hourly rate as $500 because time is money, my friends. So I'm going to go ahead and account for about 2 hours worked. I'm going to select it's taxable and billable. And then of course you can select the date that it was worked as well. Now, here you can also add in your description if there's anything you'd like to note, or upload files, maybe a receipt or something, depending on the time or expense that you're accounting for. So I'm going to go ahead and select save here. And now you'll see at the very top, I have my project, me as the team member, and then of course the date, the service, and my total. Okay, wonderful. So now, the next way that you can account for your time through Houzz Pro is our stopwatch feature. Now, this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people because I know how difficult it can be sometimes to accurately bill for your time in real time. So as you can see at the top here, I have a little stopwatch feature. I already have a little bit going. Just for the example's sake, you can see I logged about 24 seconds for my Joey Tribbiani at Hastings Place project. I paused it, but basically the way the stopwatch works is you're going to be able, like I said, to track your time in real time. So from here, say that I want to add a stopwatch. Say that I'm working on a different project. I'm going to go ahead and click add stopwatch right here. And again, same super simple setup. You select the project you're working on, the service that you're working on. Maybe it's working on a 3D rendering. Maybe it's sourcing time, whatever that looks like for you. And then your hourly rate, description if you want that, and then you'll go start stopwatch. So you can have multiple stopwatches running at a time. Of course, you definitely don't have to, but you can also, if you'd like to, like you can see here, you can pause it, say, oh, I'm going to lunch. I don't want to account for my time right now. I'm going to come back to this. You can pause it, no problem. If you want to pick it back up again, like these two, they can run at the exact same time. So I'm going to go ahead and log this Rachel Green time. Perfect. And now what's going to happen is it's going to show up here. I'm just going to refresh my page. And boom, obviously you can see right here, my hours, my rate, and my total, a whopping $3.06. So like I said, those are the two ways that you could log your time in Houzz Pro. But now the most important part of this is, of course, creating an invoice and billing for these time entries. So say you want to filter by your projects. I'm going to go ahead and just filter by my Rachel Green project. You can also filter by dates, so all dates past week or past month, or your service that you worked. I can also see here per the line items, if I just scroll to the very right, I'll be able to see the if I have invoiced for a time entry. So this is going to be super, super helpful for you all. So if you're like, oh, well, what exactly did I already bill for and what I haven't? This will help you keep track of it, no problem. Okay, so I'm going to head back over to the left here. And so obviously, as you can see, I have not invoiced for these couple, I think around 6 items here. Let's say I just want to bill for these 2 times that I just entered. I'm going to go ahead and just check the boxes here of the time entries I want to enter. And maybe I'll do this third one just for example's sake. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to create an invoice for this. And it's as simple as selecting the time entries you'd like to add in there, going to the very top and selecting create invoice. It almost seems too easy, but I promise there's no catch here. All you have to do is enter those times, check the boxes of what you want to enter, and then it'll look very, very similar to the proposal we were creating earlier. Again, we'll have that beautiful branded document with your logo, your company details, and then of course, your line items. Same thing here, we're going to review and send. And you're good to go. Okay, I see one question coming in here. Someone had asked just sort of if they could receive confirmation of this. If you guys do ever want to see any of the documents that are being sent to you, what I would recommend you do is maybe CC yourself on some of these web or email templates. So as you can see here, before you send any document on Houzz Pro, it'll basically confirm the email with the subject line and the message here as well. So say you want to maybe add in your email, I can go ahead and maybe do, you know, my email. I can go ahead and add that in there, no problem. And then you can send it over to yourself that way, just if you want to get confirmation of what the document looks like before you do send it out. So now that it's here, I haven't sent it out yet, so it'll still stay saved in my invoices section, and I can refer back to it at any time. Okay, everyone, I know that we just went through quite a bit of information. I want to thank you all again for your time and for your patience, and I'm going to actually pass it back over to Lucas. Thanks, everyone.
All right, Jade, that was awesome. Thank you so much for showcasing all of those great details to us, from creating a project all the way through sending out that proposal. That was wonderful. A lot of information, and really solid. I now have the pleasure of showcasing to you 3 really great features. We're going to talk about the client dashboard. We're going to go through our visual tools, so our 3D floor planner and our mood boards. And then I'm also going to talk to you about some of the capabilities of our app. So you have that option, to download that app on the both Android and iPhone. We have the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So let's do this thing again here. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go through and showcase, and we're going to start with that client dashboard. Now, Jade showed you exactly what it was like to send out the proposal, to go through the project. And now that we have the project underway, how do we be sure that our client is aware of what steps or what timeline we're in, or what's happening with their project? Well, we've created a solution for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click into my projects here, and I'm going to click into this new opportunity from Rachel Green. You can see the continuation of the Friends theme here. Now, my project's not going to be nearly as robust or well built out as Jade's here, but for the sake of argument here, you're going to see this feature that says Client Dashboard. That Client Dashboard hasn't moved the entire time that we've been talking here. That Client Dashboard lives whether you're in the Messages section, the Project Tracker, the Timeline. It's always right there in that right-hand side. And see here, I clicked on something that's causing us to load a new screen. So you can see right here that Client Dashboard lives right here. So I'm going to show you what that Client Dashboard looks like. Our Client Dashboard is one of those great tools that allows you to maintain extreme transparency with your clients. Every year we do a survey with our homeowners and we talk about what our homeowners really look for when they're working with their professionals. And our homeowners often note that communication skills and transparency is one of their top hiring criteria. Or even thinking about yourself, putting yourself in the position of that homeowner, to know what is happening with your project, what the timeline looks like, what the where those messages need to be, what any room boards associated with it, any outstanding invoices, all of those things, they live right here in this preview, the client dashboard. And this is what that client would see. This is the client's view. So you can see your business's logo is going to be up in the corner. You can have all the details of, it's going to be my details if it's that homeowner. So Rachel Green here. You're going to see LP Design and all of LP's design, LP Design's information right here. You can see any mood boards associated with this project. Clicking into it, you can see all the various items that person has approved or looked at. You can see any outstanding invoices. You can see if it's past due or not. That person can view it and then choose to pay it through this section right here. You can see any closed invoices. So when that person has paid things, their retainer has been paid or utilized, any of those things, you can see all of that right here. In the messages section, your homeowner will have an option to connect with you more readily and more available, so that they don't have to, perhaps they lost your business card, they lost your contact information, they don't feel comfortable texting with you. They can communicate with you very easily through this dashboard, and you'll receive that email that said, hey, this person has asked you a new question, or they can always click the send message button. This timeline section allows them to see that Gantt chart. So, hey, when is XYZ going to be finished? So the permitting, the build, the cleanup, any of those scenarios here, they'll have that option to see that timeline readily available in front of them. So they know, hey, I can expect that this person is, the build is going to be happening right now in conjunction with cleanup, based on the day, whatever that looks like. You're going to have that option to be incredibly transparent with your homeowner. As a professional, transparency is key. And as a homeowner, knowing exactly when I can gain access back to that part of my house, say it's under a construction, or say the design, required us removing a wall, so I can't gain access to, say, my kitchen or my bathroom or a living space. That can be incredibly disruptive for a family, for an individual. So having all of these transparency tools, these visualization tools, is incredibly important. And then in this attachment section, we talked about adding things like non-disclosure agreements, our contracts, our inspiration products, all those things. Once those have been added here, your client will have full visualization into those things under this section. Again, you can also see, my contact information lives in the bottom corner of this at any point. And this is also mobile friendly. So you have that option to take this on the road. So I did see that question come through. Yes, this is mobile friendly. Now, how do you share this? That's a great question that I actually saw come through earlier as well. How do you share this? Sam asked that. Sam says, what is that? What does the link button mean? So we'll talk about email and we'll talk about link. Would you like to share your totals? So yes, I would like to share outstanding totals. I'd like to share total paid, retainer, or available credit. So any of those things. Whom am I going to be emailing this to? So Rachel at houzz.com. I can CC anybody, and I can even send that message. And then I can even send a copy to my own email, so I know that client received it because it went to my email. But imagine you are working with, the Rachel Green, the real actress, and we're not necessarily working with her directly, or we're working with her and a group of people, and all of those people need access to this. So what we can do is we can turn on link sharing, and then I can just copy this link right here, and I can text that to my client, text that to my client's manager, text that to the husband and wife duo, whatever. So everybody has visualization into what is needed on this project and where this project currently stands. So you have an incredibly robust tool at your fingertips here with this client dashboard, something that I would definitely recommend that you take advantage of. All right. So now that we've talked about client dashboard and you're feeling a little bit more confident with the solution there, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into one of my favorite things. We're going to jump into the visual tools. So the visual tools, as we've discussed earlier, are the 3D floor plan and the mood board. So let's start with that 3D floor plans. 3D floor planner, the 3D floor plans live right here on the left-hand side. It's the second to last option under the manage section. We'll click into 3D floor plans right here. And here we'll actually be able to see any of the 3D floor plans that I've created. So I've created this navy chic master bedroom in advance of this meeting, just for the sake of time here. But in the app, I'll show you how you can do this in the app. You'll also be able to do a 3D floor scan. But for the sake of time, we'll just click into this 3D floor planner here. And here you can adjust things like any of the structures. So you can adjust the ceiling height, you can adjust the feet and the inches. You can adjust, if you've gone meters, you can adjust the meters here as well. So if you're one of our professionals joining us utilizing the metric system, you can do that. But for the sake of argument here, I'm going to put feet. If you scroll out and scroll in, you can then see all the various parameters of all the walls, and you can even click onto the walls right here, and you can see the exact dimension of each wall, both the external and the internal dimensions. So you know exactly how much space and how much material you're going to need. You can even change the wall thickness. So if one wall is actually going to be thicker than others, say this is a shared wall between, a townhome or whatever that looks like, you can adjust the thickness of that wall. You can even add various doors and all the other structures to your windows. And that's going to be under the structures under the products section. You can add any of the products that we have available here. Now, from time to time, our professionals ask us, hey, can we add CAD drawings in here? Can I add my own products that I've clipped? Can I add my own products that I have in my library? Unfortunately, at this time, the only products supported in the 3D floor planners are the products that we have available in our floor planner. But I am a firm believer that the products available in here are very robust, and I am sure that you'll be able to find whatever product you're looking for between this product section here or this source section right here. So adding a product is very easy. If I wanted to add a bath product, for instance, I wanted to add, say I wanted to add a shower to this bathroom here. All I would need to do is I would just grab that and I'd be able to move that right here, and I could add this shower. I could, click on this tub. I could delete this tub or rotate it left and right. Remove this toilet if I wanted to. Now this is getting a little cramped here, so I'm going to remove this here, and then I'm going to remove this as well. And you can also see exactly how these doorways look. Now, one of the coolest things that you also have in this floor planner's view is you can click on the various floor and you can select what type of flooring material you'd like. Now, we have 3 options to choose from. We have wood, tile, and carpet. And they run the gamut of a couple different colors here. So, for the sake of argument here, I've already selected this ash solid floor, but maybe I want this birch color. For the bathroom, I want tile in that bathroom. So I'm going to select this beautiful champagne honeycomb tiling here. And then for my closet, I want that closet space. I want that to be the Berber color right here. So I'm going to select that. Now, if I ever wanted to remove a wall, all I'd need to do, if I wanted to remove a wall to add more space, all I'd need to do is press delete here. And then what I can do is I can click on this pen icon and I can actually draw to add more space. So if I wanted to do that, that would be very easy to do. And then all I need to do again is click into that floor, and then I can select the flooring, and I'll just select that, level loop this time. We'll select that. All right, so that is the essence of the floor planner view. Now, when I'm in the dollhouse view, this is a great view, a really, really compelling view for you to showcase to your clients all the various features, the door, the how their bedroom is going to look like with that navy accent wall. And one of the coolest things that we've done here at Houzz is we've actually partnered with Benjamin Moore. So Benjamin Moore has provided us all of their swatches and all of their coloring. And so if we wanted to add, change this accent wall to be a slightly different color, I'd be able to click on that wall, and then I can find all of the blues. I can find all the purples. So maybe I want to make this, instead of a navy chic, I want to make this a mystical grape colored room. I just choose the mystical grape color right there. And then if your homeowner really loved that color, all you'd have to do is go to one of your Benjamin Moore authorized retailers, and then you just give them this code, the 2071-30 mystical grape, and they'd be able to make that paint for you right then and there. So you'd have the paint readily available to you. Now imagine you want that one accent wall to be mystical grape, but you want all of these other walls, you want them to be different colors. So all I do is I'd click on one wall and I'd shift click, and I'd be able to select this wall at the same time. And maybe these ones, we want them to be, a razzle dazzle color. I like saying that, razzle dazzle. It's a fun word. But you'd be able to change that, change the coloring of that wall to those colors. And you saw how I did both of those walls at the same time. Again, all I did was I clicked on one wall, I held down shift, and I clicked on another wall, and it allowed me to update, both of those walls at the same time. So very easy for you to update across the board. And again, if I wanted to, change the coloring, all I'd do here is I'd come in and I could just change both of those to lemon ice or mayonnaise or, whatever it looks like for them. So in essence, this is how you would be able to showcase that view to your client. When you're ready to share this with your client, you can either duplicate this, you can rename it, or if you don't really like it, you can delete it, or you can press the share button right here and you can copy this link and you can send it directly to that client for you to be able to share that with them. Now, I don't want you losing any of your work, so what we'll do is we'll press save right here and you'll be able to save that directly to your floor planners. All right. So that's how you add product. That's how you delete product. That's how you create accent walls and change the flooring. You can adjust structures, and that's how you see the dimensions of all of those various structures, including changing the thickness of walls, the height of products on the wall, and even the height of all of those ceilings. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move along, and I'm going to now shift into our mood board. So we're going to talk about the mood board section now here. In advance of this meeting, I created this Scandinavian living room. You can see it's got that bright kind of scarlet color in the background here, this very bright red. And I'll show you how to change that in just a second here. So what you'll be able to do here, I'm going to delete this logo. I'll show you how to add that back in just a second. What you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to change the background color. Now, the mood board, let me just talk to you about the benefit of the mood board. The mood board is really a wonderful benefit, a wonderful way for you to showcase the feeling of a space to one of your clients. So you'll be able to really showcase what it's like to work in this space, what it's like, what their space is going to feel like, any products, and all of these products that are available here are either products that you've either clipped or products that are available on the Houzz source. So products that you can actually buy and purchase directly from Houzz. So what we can do is we can change the background color. One of the great things is that we also have those Benjamin Moore colors here as well. So if you're truly going to utilize one of those Benjamin Moore colors, you don't have to go any further than search right here. Or, perhaps your client has said something to the effect of, I am a huge fan of XYZ sports team, and I want this space to really reflect how big of a fan I am. So what you do as that designer is you would then find the, the hex code for, say the San Francisco 49ers, that scarlet red that they wear, or the gold that they wear. You'd find that hex code, you can put that hex code in, and then you can find the exact feeling for that space. For the sake of argument here, I'm actually just going to choose this gray space, this muted background color, but you saw how easy it was to select that. And you can even select, any of these other various colors. So if I wanted it to be blue or orange, I could do that very easily right there. Now I'm going to change this back to the gray space here. All right, moving along, you can upload any of your own photos, any of the photos that you'd like. You can drag and drop those, or you can upload them from any of your idea books. So if you'd like your own photos and own images to be uploaded here in the mood board, this is a place that you can do that, a space that you can do that. You can upload any floor plans, so you can see the navy chic master bedroom. If you'd like, your Scandinavian living room is actually going to be that navy chic bedroom. You can upload the floor plan, and you can see right here, I actually have it in the corner. And it's very easy. You can either bring it to the front or push it to the back so it lives behind things, or you can bring it to the front so it's right here so that everybody's aware of what that looks like. You can add various color swatches. So if you know exactly that they're going to use this Victorian trim color swatch, you can add that swatch right here, put that in the corner, and then your client knows exactly what this color is going to be. So if you're utilizing those Benjamin Moore colors, you can do that very easily. Or you can add any text that you want. So you can see that I did that right here with that what do you think button. I wrote that text. It's like, what do you think about? And then maybe I didn't finish that thought about this pillow, ? So what do you think about this pillow? Then I can, make it so that it's on the same kind of skew right there. I can edit it. I can send it to the back behind that arrow. And then I can even come here and I can find that green color and change it to that green color. So all of those things are then the same. Moving right along, I've also got the select tool. So this allows me to select things. I can delete it like I've been showing you the entire time. I also have this draw tool. So if I wanted to say, hey, what do you think about this? I can then draw, an arrow pointing to the thing that I'd like to showcase to that homeowner. Or I also have this place where I can choose any of these various shapes. So I can put a line here if I want to put a divider, or this arrow that draws attention to something. Hey, I really like this pillow, so take a look at this pillow. And you can change that. You can change the color of this. So if I wanted that to be red to showcase a little bit more, I can change that to be red. This last tool that we have here is this rulers tool. So you can see there's a various rulers that we have across the board here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the rulers tool to show you what that looks like. So if I wanted to showcase that this couch is 6 feet in length, I'm just going to drag that across the entire couch, and then it's going to give me an option here to adjust the measurement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is 6 feet, and then I'm just going to press done. And then you can see right here how that would showcase, and I can put that across here. I can even delete this one. If I wanted to adjust this, all I'd have to do is press edit, and then I can get rid of that rogue 0 right there. Or I could say, you know what, actually this is 6'2", so I'm going to do that right here, and I'm going to say, hey, this couch is a long couch. Even someone my height would be able to sleep on something like that. So a great added benefit to that space, so that your client can really visualize what their space is going to look like. Now, one of the other things that you can do in your library, anything that you have created, any products that you've clipped, they'll live right here in your library. Now, for me, my library is not nearly as robust as Jade's, so I only have the logo available here. But you can always add your logo in if you want all of those things to be, branded across the board. You can add that logo in there. You can even send a background. And then in the source here, this is all of Houzz's products, so you can source any of these products here. So maybe I really don't like these, these bar stools anymore, and I really don't like this, this light. Delete those objects, delete those items. All I'm doing is I'm just selecting things, and I'm just pressing the delete key here. Delete these little rogue lines there, and just to make room here for, maybe I wanted to add this bench here as well, and so I'm just going to put this bench in here. Now, one of the things that we've also done is we've also been able to remove the backgrounds. We've optimized all the products for our source to be able to remove the backgrounds. Any products that you upload, we'll do our very best to remove that background. Our recommendation is always clip the product without the background first, or clip the product with a white background first, if you did want to use it in a mood board, so that you would be able to remove that background easier. Just so you can see, anything that has a white background is easily removed. Anything that has more colors or more things going on in the background, you may run into an error, similar to how this picture frame doesn't quite have all of this perfectly removed right here. All right, now that you're ready then to share this with your client, now you've created this perfect mood board, the Scandinavian living room looks absolutely correct. What we'll do is we'll be able to we'll be able to select this mood board button right here. We can either say, yeah, we want to create a new one. We can save this one as a new name. We can then share this with our client if we really wanted to. So you can see how that brings that up. You can then copy and paste this link and send that, text that. Again, this is mobile friendly, so you can text this to that client. Or you can even print it out. So if you wanted to print this, you could either print it and physically have it, or you'll have the option, obviously, in a print prompt to save as a PDF. So then you can save it as a PDF and upload it to the files section that lives within each project, so you know exactly the inspiration. And again, that files section then connects directly to that client dashboard. So that's one of those beautiful benefits that you have of that mood board. But I know you can see that a lot of our clients are going to need some help. I am no artist by any means. I am no designer by any means. So, I appreciate you bearing with me. I know this is not the most beautiful thing to look at, but I'm very excited to see what your designs and what your mood boards look like, when the professional takes the reins there. All right, so now that we've talked about our client dashboard, we've talked about our visual tools, our 3D floor plan, our mood board, I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of our mobile app. Our mobile app is available to the Android, Google Play Store, and that Apple App Store. And the mobile app has an opportunity for you to manage your leads and your projects all the way on the go. So you can tap and follow up with any lead, any project. You can utilize the CRM through here. You can message back and forth, send files, snap photos, and send that directly to your clients as well, all through the mobile app. You can send estimates and proposals while you're on the go, and you can even invoice, because getting paid is really important. So you can even invoice while you're on the go. And then the last thing here available is that 3D floor planner. You'd be able to scan those rooms and bring those back into the 3D floor plans here, and really kind of adjust those and make those whole for yourself. All right. Well, with that said, that is the rundown again of that client dashboard we talked about, those visual tools, the 3D floor plan, and the mood board. And we also discussed the app in brevity. We're going to follow up with links for you to be able to download those as well. But without further ado, I'm going to kick this back to Chloe to take us home here. Thanks so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much to our panelists for presenting all this amazing information today. But I also wanted to leave you with, of course, a couple additional resources. So we have a variety of different programs here at Houzz, which we mentioned in the beginning. And if you're interested in getting more out of your program, whether it be having more premium marketing features or being able to generate business on Houzz, I wanted to offer you the option of our ultimate program. If you're wanting to just get more information, I'm actually going to include a link to a calendar to talk to some of our reps here at Houzz who are really familiar with all the different options that we provide. No pressure, but if you absolutely just want to get information, this is a great place to start. So our ultimate programs typically start at $199 a month, but we're offering 30% off to our group today that is attending our webinar. But what this includes is it includes, of course, lead generation. And this is a smart lead generation. It's different than other platforms that are out there because it specifically targets projects, locations, uses smart technology to make sure we're not only matching where you want to work and the types of work you want, but what budget, what style, all these different things that go into making sure that you are the right fit for the right person. There's even more that comes with that. We have an amazing live connections program, which is a concierge service that screens and qualifies leads as they may come in through Houzz. We facilitate warm handoffs from the client to the pro over the phone. It's this white glove, amazing experience for both the homeowner and the professional that is included in our ultimate package. We also provide a preferred directory placement. So as you kind of get familiar with Houzz, you kind of browse around, there are tons of professionals that have joined our community over the last 10 years. But if you want a way to stand out, especially in your local area, having preferred directory placement will absolutely help you do that. You can kind of even showcase off even more those amazing standouts, the way that you offer video meetings, and ensure that homeowners can find you easily. Last but not least, you get a dedicated client success manager who will work with you throughout the year. So you get someone who will call and check in with you, kind of give you the insider tips and knowledge to make sure that your program is a success and working for you. We have professionals who have been working with our amazing CSMs for 7+ years. So we'd welcome you to be a part of that community. And in addition, again, you learned so much today. So our ultimate program offers unlimited team members if you want to get your team on board to help learning all things Houzz Pro and can assist you in managing your business even better. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining us today. We sincerely appreciate it. We hope that you learned a ton. We'll be sending you an email with even more resources and things that we discussed today to make sure that you have everything at your fingertips to get started on Houzz Pro. So thank you again for joining us and best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon.